Yes, inevitably there's going to be some overlap. Um, but employers today need to feel the need to pigeonhole people in order to efficiently appoint the most suitable people to particular roles. And people do tend to roughly fall into these categories, but as you say, there is always going to be overlaps. I mean, if I myself try to uh, fit myself into any one of those categories, I can't. I can more or less fit myself reasonably comfortably into about two of them at once. But no, there is always going to be overlaps.
Welcome to Ailey Fashion Lovers Chat Show, a platform where we get to empower our community and also invite professionals and business owners to come and share their skills with us and how they can empower our community with their skills. So, in today's episode, I'll be speaking to Dr. Peter Marsh. He is a psychologist and he will be sharing with us today how we can tap into our true potential and how we can utilize it wisely. So do stay tuned to keep on watching. By the way, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, do not forget to subscribe to it and click on your bell notification so you can get notified each time we release videos. So stay tuned to keep on watching. Good afternoon, Dr. Peter.
Good afternoon, Elizabeth.
Welcome to Ailey Fashion Lovers Chat Show.
I'm glad to be here and thank you for having me on your show, Elizabeth.
Dr. Peter, we have invited you here today in order to come and empower our community. So, I know you are a man of many skills. However, we would like you to talk about how we can tap into our true potential. But firstly, could you just talk more about what you do, please?
Okay, I'm a psychologist, Elizabeth, and my particular focus is on maximizing human performance.
So, what does it mean to tap into our true potential?
It means removing or neutralizing all restrictions on the full expression of one's nature. Such restrictions as have been imposed by others, including restrictions that have been internalized and have their effect by unconscious recall. Examples are inhibitions, prohibitions, behavioral norms, expectations, and elements of one's self concept.
Okay, thank you very much. But how can we unlock this true potential? Is there a logic in order to unlock this potential in us?
I would suggest by analyzing yourself and tracking down the sources of limiting thoughts and behavior to childhood conditions, by challenging limiting and faulty thinking and states of mind that support you when you're acting successfully and those which support negative behavioral outcomes, by carrying out probing analysis on your social relations and identifying people, situations, and practices that limit your self belief and opportunities, and by learning and mastering the mental tools that you can enhance the natural functioning of abilities such as memory techniques, rapid learning, mental arithmetic, problem solving, negotiating skills, and things like that.
Oh,
All of these things are dealt with in my various books and websites and social media sites, the details of which I'll be happy to give you at the end of this session.
okay. Thank you very much for that. How do you know what you are good at?
Well, the first thing you need is to assess your personality type. And there are various ways of doing this, including a simple analysis into the degree to which you're introvert or extrovert. Introverts tend to be reflective, reserved, comfortable alone. They have small groups of close friends and they tend to think carefully before starting any activity. They get their energy from being alone, they process thoughts internally, and they tend to be thinkers and often overthinkers. Now, in contrast, extroverts tend to be people persons. They tend to be comfortable in groups, have a wide range of friends and acquaintances. They jump quickly into activities with little thought, and they get energized from being around others, and they think aloud and they tend to talk a lot. But more and more employers
Mhm.
are using the Myers-Briggs personality scale, which identifies people as one of 16 types.
Mhm.
Okay?
Yeah.
I'll run through these types. They are the inspector, the counselor, the mastermind, the giver, the craftsman, the provider, the champion, the doer, the supervisor, the commander, the thinker, the nurturer, the visionary, and the composer. Now, nobody is expecting anybody to remember all of those, but I will go over each of them in detail if you wish.
Okay. Thank you very much. Wow, this is beautiful. So, how can you know which of this you are good at? You know, all you've listed about 16 personalities. So, how can you know which one relates to you and that you will be good at?
Okay, starting with the inspector type, then. The inspector types can be considered an intimidating personality, especially where there is no prior relationship with the person. They appear serious, they're formal, and rather proper in their behavior. They tend to place great importance on tradition and old school values. They value patience, hard work, honor, and social and cultural responsibility. All of these values are cherished by them. They're rather reserved, calm, quiet, and upright. These traits result from a combination of introversion, sensing, thinking, and judging. And the result is a personality type that's often misunderstood. The Myers Briggs scale, this personality type is ideally suited to the occupations such as dentistry, public accountancy, supply chain managers, and business analysts.
Wow. I think in one of your books, it's mentioned as a master, is a mastermind. So, what do you mean by the mastermind type?
The mastermind type.
Yeah.
Um, okay, these are true introverts. Their personality type tends to be rather quiet, reserved, and comfortable in their own company. They're usually self sufficient and prefer to work alone rather than in a group. Socializing significantly drains the energy of this personality type, causing them to need to recharge their batteries. Don't weigh them down with small talk. They're more interested in big ideas and theories. When observing the world, they regularly question why things happen the way they do. Uncertainty is the enemy of them. Mastermind types tend to make good musical performers, editors, photographers, financial advisors, marketing managers, teachers, and therapists.
I
Does
can
that
see
help?
myself in that. When we say the givers, who are the set of
It's
people referred to?
okay. And the giver type, I'll describe them. Some of your readers may recognize themselves in this category. They're eternal people pleasers. They're extroverted. They're idealistic. They're charismatic. They're outspoken. They're highly principled and highly ethical. This set of traits ensures that this type of people can usually connect with others of varying backgrounds and personalities. They rely more on intuition and feelings. They live more in their imagination than the real world. For the individuals themselves and those around them, they can appear quite troublesome. Uh, Rather than living in the now, they tend to concentrate more on the abstract world and what could possibly unfold in the future.
Yeah, that sounds like me. Is it possible you find, someone carrying the two traits, like introvert and extrovert?
Yes, inevitably, there's going to be some overlap. Um, but employers today need to feel the need to pigeonhole people for in order to efficiently um, appoint the most suitable people to particular roles. And people do tend to roughly fall into these categories. But as you say, there is always going to be overlaps. I mean, if I myself try to uh, fit myself into any one of those categories, I can't. I can more or less fit myself reasonably comfortably into about two of them at once. But no, there is always going to be overlaps.
Wow. When we talk about tapping into our true potential, what is the drive that push people to make people think they are not really fulfilling their their true potential in life?
There's something called self-esteem.
Yes.
Um, Now, I'll explain what self-esteem is. It's a concept that derives from humanist psychology, and it amounts to the difference between your self-concept, what you feel you are capable of, and your self-concept of ability and your self-concept of achievement. And the difference between your self-concept of ability and your self-concept of achievement is your self-esteem. If you are achieving uh, what you feel you're capable of achieving, your self-esteem will be quite good. If you're achieving more than you feel you're capable of, your self-esteem is going to be very high, and it is possible to overachieve in that sense, because you can have luck on your side and that kind of thing. But if you're achieving less than you think you should be achieving, your self-esteem is going to be low. So self-esteem is a measure of that difference between what you think you should be achieving, and what you actually are achieving. Now, it's exactly that makes you aware that you're not fulfilling your potential. If you're achieving exactly what you feel you're capable of, then you're going to feel you are fulfilling your potential. My main interest is in maximizing human performance. So that means going above what they think they're capable of. I'm very aware that most people are capable of much more than they think they're capable of. Let me just read the foreword of one of my books that was written by a well-known TV mnemonist some years ago, about how I helped him in this respect. Read you the foreword that Thomas Morton wrote for on my
How to train yourself
improving
to
your memory.
remember more.
Yeah, improving your memory. Right. When I was introduced to Peter Marshall, I was a raw young man with a talent for remembering things so great it perplexed me. I was at the time using it to make a living doing shows at Blackpool, demonstrating my memory for remembering telephone numbers. Peter took an immediate interest in my ability, and before I knew it, he was delving into not only my techniques but my childhood conditions to discover what led me to develop in such a way. His keen investigative nature leaves no stone unturned. In addition to his research interests, he was also interested in my own development. It was he who persuaded me to educate myself in the subject so that I could understand my memory talents. It was he who persuaded me to change from working with telephone numbers to memorizing the pi constant. It was he who served as chief invigilator in my two televised attempts to get into the Guinness Book of Records for this. Peter is one of the most knowledgeable and inspiring authorities of the time on the subject of mind development. Much of his life has been selflessly devoted to helping other people to improve themselves. There are many I know personally and many more I do not, who owe a debt of gratitude to him for changing their lives forever. He made them see that they can expect better things in life. He made them see they were capable of great things. It goes on. Um, to these people, Peter Marshall is the dream maker, one who not only builds people's dreams, but also shows them how to make them come true.
So have you got
Mhm.
a couple of tips you can share with us that can enable us to know, exactly that we are going the right direction, or what plan we taking, it's the right plan.
Right. What I would suggest is this, and you can put this on. I said to you that at the end of this at the end of this session,
Yeah.
um, I will give you details of my books and websites. And now, going to very young children, memory
Yeah.
techniques,
Gotcha.
memory techniques for infants, designed for their parents to read to them. Engram the elephant. It introduces very young children to memory techniques to realize that they can actually control their memory. Now on Facebook, every single week, every Friday,
Yes.
I'm putting new installments of how my own progress, my own journey. Well, I achieved quite a lot. I did 2 university degrees, two different universities, uh, plus a diploma in accountancy, all at exactly the same time. And I've done lots of other things, as you know. I mean, Mensa has acclaimed me to be the ultimate polymath. You know, uh, and I want to show people how I did it. That's the point. So, on every Friday on Facebook, there is a new installment
Mhm.
on my journey to achieving what I have to date achieved. And this will give loads and loads of tips on how people can um, um, maximize their own performance. Right. So
Thank you very much for tuning in today. I hope you have enjoyed the session today, and do let me know whichever part of the video does resonate with you. And if you have any other question or any other topic or any other professional or entrepreneur you would like to see on our platform, do not hesitate to DM me, or you can, leave a comment and I shall take it from there. So thank you once again and catch you next time. Do not forget to subscribe to our channel so you can get notified each time we release more videos like this. Thank you once again and goodbye.